Our great coach on this episode is the soccer coach, John Aloisi. John had a long and successful career as a professional soccer player before transitioning into coaching. His first success came in 2022 when he led Western United to the A-League Championship in Australia. In our interview, John reflects on the role of clarity, care and resilience in his coaching approach. We also discuss mindsets and how a scoring mindset is critical when you're looking to develop an attacking style of play. We also go deep into mental skills and how John uses meditation, journaling and positive affirmations to help both himself and the players that he's leading. It's a great interview with a young coach who's still at the start of his journey. And here are some of the highlights from our interview.
We all know when you get to that elite level that players are technically at a pretty good level. The gap there's not that massive in terms of technical ability. A lot of it is your mental strength and your belief. And it's easy when things are going well, but how do you keep that belief when things aren't going so well and you're not playing as well as you would like, or you're going through some hard times, either physically or the form is slipped away? I think that's where a coach can really help a player through their own experiences or making things a lot easier to understand for a player. I'm big on making sure that a player understands when he has the ball, because we do a lot of repetition in terms of what we want their teammates to do around them, that they have 2 or 3 different options when they have the ball. So just fall back on the basics, we call it, and the story might not necessarily be part of what you've been showing or telling him about the game. There might be something completely different. So I learned that I'm not speaking to the person asking me that question. I end up speaking to, first of all, the supporters that are watching, your supporters, your players are watching, your hierarchy, your board or your chairman, they're watching. And so the message when I'll do a press conference or do an interview would be to them, what message I needed to get out. So I felt that was very helpful working on that side, on the other side in terms of media wise. And so when I went into Western United, I was very comfortable and clear that I was taking over a club that was only 2 years old, but I've already dealt with difficult situations at Melbourne Heart, then at Brisbane Roar. So I knew that when I stepped in, how I could deal with the hierarchy, the board, the chairman, because at the end of the day, they're supporters and they can get very emotional and be excited after a win and very disappointed after a loss. And so over the years, that's really helped me to be able to deal with that side, because that can be sometimes the hardest side. So I always say to a player, if you miss an opportunity, that's okay. The failure is if you stop putting yourself in that position because you're fearful of missing again. That's what I tell most of our players. Don't be fearful. If you miss, I'm not going to get angry, but I will get angry if you stop putting yourself in that position.
And the best players that you've come across, how are they able to work with a shifting mindset? What do they do to bring that thinking into the front of what they do out on the pitch?
It's hard to know and explain, because we're quite lucky that we play a team sport. You can rely on your teammates, you out of difficult situations. I talk a lot about cohesion as a group, as a team. And sometimes when your player, your best player, is going through a bad period, it's who you've got around him that can help him through that. Everyone says that you have to have this way of playing, and there's certain coaches that do have that way of playing, and there's no right or wrong in terms of the way that you coach. You just have to be clear and get the players to buy into what you're trying to do. But I also look at the playing group that I might inherit, because sometimes you're inheriting a playing group that might not be able to play exactly the way that you want to play. And then I felt as well the players that were from there were important for the outsiders. If they saw that you were trying to fit in, they would really bring you in. And then also, as a player, I believe the best way to improve is that actually you enjoy going to training every day. And if you can create that environment that the players enjoy coming in every day, you're going to get the best out of them and you're going to improve them individually. And that's what I've taken out of my playing days. And I try to create that into my team environment, that the players come there and they think that they believe that they are learning and improving as players, but also as people. Then that's how you end up having that connect. And I think the best clubs are able to do that. The best teams are able to do that. And so that's something that I believe in strongly, that wherever I am and the club that I'm at, that I try and bring to the table.
If you'd like to see our whole interview with John, you can use these QR codes to access the podcast.